Good evening, everyone. Man, it's been a couple crazy freaking weeks here. Hold on, I gotta kill the volume on this. Give me 1 second. I am unorganized. All right. So we made a decision to go to the state fair, which started down here today. Um, and it was only 97 degrees. It was awesome. No, but it was fun. We actually had a very, very good time. Really, really enjoyed it. And it was a lot of fun. So I really excited about everything overall. Everybody's been very, very hospitable down here, and it's just been a tremendous amount of fun. And the people that we're buying the property from are very, very nice people. Uh, and I don't think I've ever seen anybody look so happy, Bryce. Well, I'll tell you what, it's weird. If you had told me, and actually, I went to dinner with one of my subscribers last night, and he took Heather and I to dinner. And so he said to me, he goes, 5, 10 years ago, did you ever see yourself where you're at now? And I said, you know what? Honestly, no. I never would have thought that, we would be here. Yep, I was in Lewisburg. Yes, yes, ma'am. Gloria J. Stump, not far from me. Okay, Gloria. Well, wish I had known. But yeah, so we're down in Lewisburg this morning and checking out this afternoon, the state fair. A lot of fun. Like I said, we had a lot of fun. This has just been a extremely busy couple weeks, and finishing it off with closing of the property yesterday, and now it's ours, and so that was just super exciting, and getting out there and kind of I took a bunch of pictures of the road going in, and I don't know if I'll throw those up on Instagram or not, but I may. So if you want to check those out, the different pictures that we have been posting of the property and also everything else, um, definitely go to either my Instagram or my Twitter, and that is Prepper Nurse One for both of those if you want to check those out. So, but maybe I'll build a log cabin with all those trees. I'm not even sure what I'm going to do yet, to be honest with you. I really gotta, when I get back up to New York here, I'm gonna sit down, really kind of figure out stuff. What we're gonna well let me okay before we get going anymore with this stream. Let me just say first of all, family friendly. I would ask you to please keep it family friendly for this stream. And what made you choose West Virginia versus South Carolina, Georgia, or Vermont? We'll get into that in just a second. I'll talk about all that, to be honest with you, and I'll give you my reasoning when But anyway, so family friendly, keep it nice, no nastiness in the chat. If you decide to be nasty, JJ has the boot already out there. My moderators, awesome people that watch the channel and keep the channel clean, they will boot you out of here because we're not going to tolerate that. You got to build Heather her own little A-frame. I'm going to tell you what I am going to do, and so I'm going to tell you kind of like some of the plans that I want to do. So there is. Okay, so we'll start with this. We'll do it this way. What made me decide on West Virginia as opposed to any place else? Because I was really thinking of possibly Tennessee. I was thinking possibly of Kentucky. And so when I started really digging into the research and stuff like that, one of the reasons that I did not pick Tennessee was because I know that a lot of people from California, nothing against the people from California, first of all, but a lot of people with the liberal mindset from California were buying in California, driving up, or from California into Tennessee, were driving up the prices in Tennessee, and it was costing quite a bit more to buy property in Tennessee. And but what happens is when you have people that destroy a state, and then they can afford to leave, and a lot of people have done that in New York as well. A lot of people that were in New York City when everything went down ended up going down to Florida. Well, they take their mindset with them, and they take their voting with them, and they go and try to destroy the next state that they go into. And so that was part of it. But the main reason that I picked West Virginia over any place else was very sparse population. And so that was a really very attractive thing for me. You still have all 4 seasons here in West Virginia. Believe it or not, I do like the change of seasons. I still like that. But the winters down here are going to be a joke in comparison to New York. So when people have been telling me, well, they still have snow in West Virginia. Yeah, and I've said this many times already, because, it's not going to be like New York, no matter what. It won't be like New York. So I'm really, really, like I said, I'm really looking forward to getting things going down here. And so if you look where we were parked, where I had the truck parked, that was in the lower section. It was flat, and I'm definitely going to be building something down there. In the upper section, I plan on putting in a smaller cabin, if you will, maybe sleep 1 or 2, maybe 3 people up there, and have like a glass front, because that view on that upper part, when you look over at the distant mountains, it is absolutely stunning, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I just, thinking about waking up in the morning and looking out over that view and seeing that as you wake up, I think that's going to be absolutely stunning. So I definitely will be doing, more than one building. Obviously, I always will have more than one building. It's good. This is going to take some time. That's number one. And, I realize that. Hey, the Kegel. Kiro up the great, or I think he meant keep up the great shows. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for that donation. I really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. Like I said, this new adventure, guys, is going to be exciting. So what my game plan is, I'm planning on going down in another month and spending probably a week down in West Virginia. That's the game plan right now. That's subject, obviously, everything is subject to change. But so I plan on going down in about another week and working on stuff down there, and start working on the road in. The road in needs some work. I'll probably post the pictures of the road, but like I said again, I didn't take any video of that section. I just did some pictures, and so I will post those, like I said again, on Instagram and probably Twitter for people to see. Will you have it done before you retire? Jen says. I'm going to tell you what, when you have a homestead, and just like the homestead in New York, nothing is ever going to be done. There's always going to be something else to do. So that there is never, ever going to be done. And so I'm just going to work at it. There's some really cool trails that we're going to be able to work and open up. And I'll tell you what, now that 4-wheeler that I have, I can tell you this, I will be using my 4-wheeler a lot down here in West Virginia, a lot. I have the trailer that goes along with that 4-wheeler. I can take that down into the woods, stop, cut trees down, clean stuff up. There's a ton of stuff that has to do. Yeah, no, I definitely plan on, like I said, down here is a constitutional carry, open carry state, concealed carry state. So yes, when I come down the next time, excuse me, one of the things I do plan on doing is changing my driver's license over from, New York to West Virginia. That's number one. Because I'm going to tell you right now, as moving forward, once we get into this winter, the majority of my time will be spent in West Virginia. And yes, I have all the mineral rights on my property. They're all mine. So nobody's going to be able to come in there and say, hey, we're doing this or we're setting up this without my permission. So that is a really, really cool thing, and stuff like that. So yeah, there are black bears, keep a 45 on your hip, if not a 50 cal gun to point down a black angry bear. Yeah, generally black bears, guys, are more afraid of us than we are of them. So unless they got a cub, and they feel like you're threatening that cub's life, they're most likely, if you make yourself big and make a lot of noise, black bears are generally, not always, but generally going to run away. So hopefully, now Bigfoot, I don't know. I'm not, I would be more concerned about Bigfoot than I would be black bears, because I know that area that I'm moving into is definitely, I know they call him the dog man and stuff like that down in this area. So, yeah, I mean, and I figure, if Bigfoot wants to do its thing and keep a low profile, I'm good with that. just we can live in peace. I'm good with him. I mean, I'm not trying to expose him. I'm not trying to capture him. So, but so anyway, but yeah, we're gonna, it's gonna be a lot of work, and I realize that. But I also know that if we just, work at things methodically, yeah, grizzly bears are another story. And thank goodness there's no grizzly bears down in that area, or this area down here. There's no grizzly. There's black bear. So I know they're reintroducing. What did they say they're reintroducing? Was it Heather? What were they reintroducing down in this area? Elk. Yeah, elk is being reintroduced down here in West Virginia, because I believe I was talking to the gentleman that we had dinner with, and he was saying that elk was actually native to West Virginia, and so, but. Yeah, he was saying that they were hoping that within the next 10 years they get enough of them repopulated they could be hunted again. So that would be pretty cool. But there are a ton of deer. We saw a wild turkey while we were down there. Like I said, I got some more pictures that I'm going to throw up onto, like I said, Instagram and Twitter. But yeah, I really super excited about this whole thing. It's going to be, like I said, I'm not delusional to think that it's not going to be a ton of work. But I'm not afraid of hard work, so it's not a big deal at all. The driveway road in, that's going to be a chore in itself, but we'll just, I think one of the first things that I may end up doing, other than working on the road, is working on getting the water source squared away. So I'm going to look into what that's going to entail and kind of figure that out. Yeah, wild pigs get big and nasty. Yes, and I don't know if they have them down here very much. We didn't see any sign of that. I did see bear scat when we were going through the woods. I did see bear scat. So, but like I said, it's just going to be. It's really cool. And there's some beautiful mature trees, and with the amount of acreage that we're going to have, it's going to be a lot of fun, and. Your mom, okay, so Becky's probably going to stay in New York because of her grandkids. So she plans on staying in New York. So that's basically the main reason I will not get rid of the New York property, is because of that. Okay. Mom will eventually come down with me, if she's still with us. She's 78 now, so who knows? I mean, it's going to take me a while to get things squared away down here. Can you fish the creeks and streams that run nearby? Right now, they're really not running. If you watched today's video, they were pretty dry, but they've said they've had a really dry spell right now. So I don't know what that's gonna entail as far as once the what that's gonna entail as far as when we get more rain. And it's a good area for rain. I looked at everything, and I was looking at like the seasonal temperatures, and I'm like, we're talking like January. They're talking highs in like 40 degrees and like 20s at night. That's workable weather. I mean, to me, that's workable weather. So, but like I said, it's all gonna this going back and forth is going to be some work in itself. And but like I said, I want to get things set up. I'd like to get the camper down there probably by October, if that's like this next trip go down next month here, first part of September, and get things kind of set up as much as I can. And then they say that 2 parallel fences about 3 feet apart around your garden will keep it safe from deer. Well, the whole lower meadow area is all barbed wire. And you can see, I don't know if you guys have watched the videos, and I showed like the trees literally had grown through the barbed wire. So I don't even know when that barbed wire was put up, but it had to be years ago. And I don't think there's cougars in West Virginia. I don't think so, no. But Engineer 775 has a kit you can buy for springs, but you can't just use any. But you can just use any above ground swimming pool as a dam. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to do my research of how I want to develop it. I don't have all those answers right now. He basically said, yeah, West Virginia winters is nothing compared to New York. You already have plenty of experience. Yeah, I'm not, like I said, the winters down there don't scare me in any way, shape, or form. So, but lived here my whole life, have never seen a cougar. Okay, well, there you go. I don't know about wolves. I know that there have been coyotes up in the area. I was talking that there was coyotes, but I don't know about wolves. I don't think that there are wolves in West Virginia. I don't believe so. But yeah, like I said, there's going to be plenty of wildlife out here. No wolves in West Virginia unless it was a pet. Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think that there was wolves out there. But anyway, like I said, it's going to be interesting thing. I'm really happy to take you guys along. I really want to do this one right from the beginning. The solar is going to be a really key part of it, obviously. Where I plan on building something as more of a permanent residence, that area there is going to be a perfect area to catch sun from early in the morning right straight through to the afternoon. So that part will be very, very cool. And so, like I said, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's like I know it's going to be a ton of work. Like I said, I'm not delusional in that at all. So I really got to kind of figure out. Obviously, I know where the spring is. One of the springs. I didn't even find the other spring yet. So we will have to do that maybe the next time that we come down. But a lot of cougars in Hollywood. Yes, there are. But the next time we come down, we'll probably do that then. And I know that's charged up, so I want to get that off of there. So I got to kind of put a game plan together because there's like 8 million projects that I could do all at the same time, and I don't want to do that. So I want to really just kind of focus on like the next trip down. I do plan on staying right on the property, and I do plan on being there for probably at least a week. That time when I go down. And so I definitely know I'm going to work on the road. That's going to be enough work in itself. I'm going to see if I can't get somebody local that has a bulldozer to maybe open up an area a little bit to flatten things out. So I definitely want to do that, and a ton of work and a ton of money. Well, that's going to be a dictator too of how things go and what gets done. Money's always going to be a part of it. So, it only goes so far. So, if I get down there and I can get, set up and I can start building slowly. We've been at the homestead here, the one in New York. This started, our 7th year was in June. So, none of that happened overnight. So, it's I know it's going to take time. But, as long as if I can get my solar set up, get the camper down there. So I'm going to have a place to stay. So I don't have to worry about building something to live in right away. So I'm going to have the camper to be able to live in right away. I will build an awning over the top of the camper to protect it so it doesn't get beat up by the weather and I have to deal with leaks. I don't want to deal with leaks. So I definitely will be doing something to that effect. Also, I want to get solar set up and water set up. Those are going to be priorities, so that I can actually have water and have power, because like I said, there's no lines running in there. So, it's going to be, over a mile in to where we're actually going to be having, building one of the buildings. So, but like I said, and then you got to remember, I'm taking the dogs down with me when I go down for the winter. And so, I'm going to have to build another dog run, and I'm going to have to get all that type of thing squared away. And so it's going to be quite the adventure. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be, the benefit that I have this time is when I'll tell you, when I bought my property in New York and was getting things set up before we moved. So before we moved, if anybody's, I don't know how long some of you guys have been watching. I know some of you guys have been watching the channel for an extremely long time. But when we got the property in New York, I started getting the driveway worked in to start with. I got the camper in there, and then we basically focused on, had to get the camper in, get a place for the camper, and then working on the first driveway. The second driveway wasn't even thought about at that point. And then I had a logger come in and log that out. I am not doing that down here. I can tell you that right now. I will not be having any logger come in. I'm not clearing out my land. I'm not doing that. So that's not going to happen. I want those woods to stay woods. So that is, that's going to be the way I want to do it down there. So, but it was a very slow, methodical thing. And then when we moved out to the property in New York, it was a culture shock. It was an eye opener. It was realizing, holy crap, this is a lot more work than we thought. And then what we ended up having to do in New York, because the day, if you guys remember, anybody's been with me that long, the day before we moved to the property in New York, I found out I had cancer. So we moved to the property the 22nd of June of that year was our first full day out at the property. And then a month later, I had to have surgery. So it was, and then I was out of commission for months and months and months, where I couldn't do anything. So we ended up getting the building and had that brought in. And then I had the gentleman from the other part of New York came over, helped me put it up on blocks, helped me get some windows into the property. I mean, it was brutal. And I was in no condition to be doing anything physical. It literally took me a year before I felt somewhat normal again. I will never be the same, obviously, from that surgery, but I'm pretty good. I can't say that, I feel pretty good in comparison, and now here we are, all these years later, but I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot. And so, that's all part of it. And so it's going to be really, really exciting, like I said. So somebody was asking how many acres. 25 acres in West Virginia. So 25 acres. And I would love to have enough land that my commute to work is entirely on my own property. I'm going to tell you what, I am excited about that part of it. I'll be honest with you. Like I said, the trails, one of the trails that we had gone down, really easy to clean that up and open that up. And that'll be a nice four-wheeler drive down through that area. So the four-wheeler is going to be a huge, huge asset down on the property. And so it's just, overall, I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am to be out in the middle of the woods like we're going to be. And, there is not going to be anybody right on top of us. And obviously, with having 25 acres, and so, okay, so I want to explain how this kind of works. So you have the open field down there at the lower level that you guys saw, okay? Behind us, once you get where the fencing was, then you go over maybe 150 feet, and then there's the spring. Well, that whole area is like steep down, like this again. And so nobody's kind of build right behind you there. There's no way that they could. We own all the way down to the creek that way as well. Then the other way is, which in the video that we showed today, we walk down that way, and it's a long way down to the creek. And again, it is like this type of an elevation. So nobody's going to be building anywhere close, even if they wanted to. Now, up on the upper level that you saw, okay, we have, we have part of that on the left side. Now, on the right side, there's open field over on that right side as well. But yeah, it's it's going to be, like I said, there's nobody's going to be super close to us. And so we're going to definitely build down probably about 5 acres, and there's really no flat. It's kind of like sloping, with the grade. So, things got to be cleaned out, built up a little bit so that we can have flat areas. And there's plenty that's going to be fine, as far as, you know, maybe the crazy man's ghost walks on property. And it was over 100 years ago. So I'm not too worried about that. I definitely want to get a metal detector down there and play around and see what I can find. But it's like I said, I am beyond excited. I can't wait till I can be down there, like I said, for the winter full time. And you have no idea how much I'm not going to miss a New York winter. I am not going to miss that by any stretch of the imagination. So I am really, really excited about that. There's plenty of areas that, like I said, open on the property. Go watch the last couple videos. You'll see that. And there's one more video coming. It's going to go up tomorrow at 3. So you'll see that one as well. And I'm walking another part of the property. And like I said, I'm going to be able to put in a root cellar. And that's what I definitely want to do that. And I'm going to do raised bed gardens again. I will absolutely, now there's, like I said, barbed wire is all the way around that lower level. Okay, so I definitely still will protect that garden area. So I will have another fence around the garden area. And what I may end up doing, as far as the dog run may go around that. So, they would have to go through one fence, then another fence, and then the barbed wire. So, hopefully that would keep out any kind of critters that want to come in and feast on the garden. So I definitely will protect the garden area. Will I eventually throw in another greenhouse? Probably. I definitely like my greenhouse. There's plenty of rainfall. The average rainfall is really good for the area. I will definitely have another rain catchment system. I had the 550-gallon rain catchment system, in New York. So I definitely want to set something like that up as well. I like having that option for water in your garden, so you're not sucking it out of your well and those type of things. So, but like I said, it's going to be a blast. I can't even begin to tell you how I'm excited. Coming down here in May and trying to find something, and stumbling upon this property. Working with the people that I bought the property from, just super, super down to earth people. And I already told them. I said, listen, I'm telling you, kind of guy that I am. If you need help with something, all you got to do is ask me, and I'll help you. Because they're going to be my neighbors. So that's how I roll. I help my neighbors now. So I'm looking forward to that aspect of it as well. And and it's and the people in the area are just so freaking down to earth. It is unreal. Will I have to travel to go to a Lowe's or anything like that? Of course. But so what? That's the reason why I bought where I bought. I bought because I wanted to be isolated enough to be able to do what I want to do. If you listen in the one video that I put up already, and and I said, hold on, I want you to hear this. And I stopped talking, and I know I talk all the time, and I talk nonstop, but it is to the silence and the quiet and the peacefulness. It is just absolutely amazing. You don't hear any kind of traffic at all, and it's beautiful. And the woods are just fantastic. I love the woods. I love the old trees. And like I said, I really just explored a small fraction of the property so far, and so there'll be a lot more to check out, and we'll just keep doing that. And it's going, like I said, it's going to be a blast. Go to town once a month, like in the old days. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to have plenty to do. Unless a spring brings it higher, water table should be down to creek level. Yeah, like I said, there's a spring literally right behind where I'm going to build. So I will definitely utilize that. I don't know how. Well, okay, so if you watch the one video, I think the video that I'm putting up, the one video I did, the first video, I kind of showed the area where the spring is. the last video that I do, which you'll see tomorrow, I walk up on the spring, and that area is very wet, and it's been very, very dry down there. They said they haven't had a lot of rain, so that tells me that spring is really a good spring, and it's very active. So, but again, you don't want to overtax a spot. So, I definitely, do you have a time frame in mind when you will want to be there full time? This fall. This fall. I will be down there for the winter. So when my game plan is between now and November, end of November, I plan on being down there full time and build an extra cabin and rent it out to subscribers. I might do something like that. Turn it into a teaching property. I may do something like that, But what I plan on, like I said, I plan on being down there at the homestead in down here in West, because we're still in West Virginia. But being down here full time by November. That's my game plan. So, yeah. Okay. So let me go over some of the other reasons why I chose West Virginia. Okay. So, part of the reason I chose West Virginia was the taxes are extremely, extremely low, unbelievably low, which is just awesome. Okay. It is an open carry and concealed carry state. I don't have to have a permit to conceal carry. So, you can be able to protect yourself, which is a wonderful feeling in those type of things. So I like that. It's a red state. Yes, Randy Romines just said it's a red state. So, that's another reason why I decided on this area. Again, it's very sparsely populated. There's not a ton of people here. There's a ton of mountains. So, down in a lot of the valleys, you'll see a lot of houses down in those valleys. I wanted mountains. I want to be at a higher elevation. Now, I checked out where I'm at, and according to the map thing was in the area where I'm going to be at, it's 400 feet elevation. So right now where I'm at 1,600 feet above sea level in New York. Down here, we're going to be at 3,100 feet. So definitely up in the mountains, which is where I wanted to be. I love the high elevation. And I'm going to tell you what, so the video we showed today where we had gone down to the creek, right? Then we had to go uphill. We had to climb back up. And I'll tell you what, both me and Heather were like, okay, we got to stop. We got to take a break, take a little breather. So it's really, it's tough terrain, and I told her, I said, I'll tell you right now, I said, I take walks up and down that hill every day. I said, I'll be in some really good shape really, really quickly. So, and I plan on doing a lot of that. I plan on hiking a lot of that property. And so I know just doing that alone is going to get me in a lot better shape than I already am. I'm in pretty good shape right now. Any Civil War history on your property? I have no idea. No idea. So, but, so I'm looking forward, I'll be back and forth between here and New York if Mom and Beck need me, in New York. And then Heather's going to be, in New York as well, and she may come down, and spend time. I already said to her, I said, what'll happen is that snow will start, and you have to load that wood stove every day by yourself without Dad bringing in the wood. And you're going to be like, hey, Dad, come down and pick me up, or come up and pick me up. So we'll see. But, she can come here and do whatever she wants to do, and that's fine. I mean, with what she wants to do with making jewelry and stuff like that, she can do that in New York, or she can do it here. So, we'll see what happens. But, who's helping me build? I have no idea. Probably, a lot of it will go on me. I don't know, and that's okay. Yeah, I do plan on catching rain runoff. I definitely said I'm going to have another rain catchment system. When I build this awning that's going to go over the top of the camper, that roof will be used as a rain catchment. I'll catch rain off of that. I'll set something up off of that when I build something permanent. And again, I haven't really decided how I'm going to do it yet, where I'm exactly I am going to build. I definitely have a couple of different ideas. Mike Lindell got assaulted outside his hotel room. That's nuts. People are crazy. because somebody thinks differently that they should be attacked. I'm going to tell you what, I think a lot of people are crazier than crazy. I'm probably crazy. I mean, a lot of people would think I'm crazy because of what I want to do, how I want to live my life, but that's okay. To me, if you want to, stand around in the corner, walk in circles and talk to yourself, as long as you're not hurting anybody, go for it. So, but yeah, that's not good. We unfortunately live in a society now where a lot of people are so influenced by social media, by the news, and everything like that. And Sean says, "Yes, you are. That's all right. I'm a good kind of crazy, though. I'm the kind of crazy you want around. That's the kind of crazy I am. But I'm going to tell you what. I consider myself very, very blessed, very, very fortunate. You know, and so that part of it is awesome. So people want to call me crazy. That's fine. I'll live in peace, have very little stress, and and I'll be happy with that. And you can go ahead and live in those cities, and you can do that 9 to 5 grind and have to deal with people that are going to hate you, because you looked at them sideways. Go for it. Have a good time with that. To me, that's crazy. I've lived in cities. I lived in Rochester, New York for a lot of years when I was younger. I've lived in the country. I've lived in the city. I've lived in suburbia. I'll stay in the country. I like being in the country. So, I find it much more peaceful. And, if you can do it, I would highly recommend it to anybody. There is a new super variant coming out of India. 40,000 vaccinated people got it in one day. Imagine that. I can't believe that. How could that be possible? How could that be possible? It must be misinformation. Yeah. So, hey, we're not going to get into that whole subject on this stream tonight. I'm not even talking about any of that. Not even going to get on that one tonight. But so, did you see the census data knocked Rochester off the number 3 city? Yonkers took Rochester's place. Rochester's a horrible place to live now. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I've lived there. Okay. And it is, people are not friendly, not even close. Even in suburbia, when we lived in Greece, New York, which is outside of Rochester, people were not friendly. When we moved down to Dansville, it don't matter. Anybody that hates me knows where I'm at anyway, so it doesn't even matter. In New York, when we moved down into that area, the difference was like night and day. Night and day. People were much, much friendlier. You'd be waiting to cross the street. They'd stop their vehicle and tell you to go. You'd never see that in Rochester. You'll never see that in Greece, New York. I can tell you that right now. Totally different mindset. Once you get away from the city, once you get away from suburbia. I mean, we lived in suburbia for 8 years in Greece, New York. We were there 8 years. I knew the people. There was a couple that lived across the street. Me and the husband talked. The wife she was pretty racist, so she didn't like white people. So she really didn't talk to you very much. But the husband and I got along really, really well. The people that were on our right, my daughter and Kendall, you guys are probably, if you watch any of the old videos, they were like best friends. And so we knew them really well. Anybody else, like the neighbors that we had on the other side of us, right next door to us, it was literally for 8 years, it was like, hey, how are you? And that was it. Never got invited for a cup of coffee, none of that type of stuff. They weren't that type of people. They kept it themselves. They kept it their own family. And so we gave them that respect and just let it be. But, it's like you got the area in New York where I have my homestead. The neighbors look out for each other. They watch out for each other. They'll help each other. It's different. Okay. And I know coming down here, the people down here have that same type of mindset. And I think that that's awesome. My ex-husband grew up in Rochester, New York. Oh, okay. Yeah, Rochester is a different city. Different city. New York City is even more different. New York City is a trip. I've been to New York City a couple times, and I that's too many people, too many people. No, I wouldn't want to live like that. And like I said, to me, I want to be free. Uh, this sounds silly, but to be able to open my back door and take a leak right there, to me, I like being able to do that. So that's what I like. And nobody bothers me. Nobody's gonna say, "Hey, what are you doing out there?" Because when you live in suburbia and when you live in the cities, everybody sees everything. You've got people watching each other all the time. So but uh, yeah, I'm going to be putting any water, guys, that I utilize down here. I will be bringing my Berkey with me. So any water that I'm going to utilize down here is going to go through the Berkey anyway for cooking or drinking. So when I come down here, the Berkey's coming with me. Mom and Beck have their own Berkey, so not too close to the house, right? Well, it keeps everything away. They stay away. So you pick a different spot. So, but did you see the angry prepper is thinking of moving to Texas? I did not see that. I don't blame him. I don't blame him for a minute to get out of New York City. When I talked to him before, I had said to him, "Man, you got to get out of there. You got to get out of there." Did you get your high ground at? Yes. The elevation, again, I talked earlier, 3,100 feet elevation. So, yeah, we're up in the mountains. Higher elevation than I am right now here, when we go back to New York. Higher elevation than, because I'm at 1,600 feet above sea level in New York. I'm going to be at 3,100 feet above sea level on the property. So, yeah, like I said, it is, I'm can't even begin to tell you how excited I am. And, it is really, really exciting. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of work. You guys are going to see it. You're going to be like, "Man, this freaking lunatic at my age doing it all over again." But that's okay. That's okay. I'm all right with that. The best part is, and it's like Heather said. She goes, "You know what, Dad?" She said, "For somebody like you, you have to stay busy. So it's going to keep me young. I'm going to, it's like I'm in way better shape than most people my age, which I know that. I see them." So, you know what? I see them, so I know that. But I'm really excited about it. And like I said, I'll pace myself. If I start to overdo it, then I'll slow down a little bit and take some time. But, the weather's going to dictate how things go. But again, the weather's not going to be anywhere near like New York. And I don't mind working out in colder weather. When it's like super, super hot, like today was hot. It was 97 degrees here today. It's tough to work outside when it's that temperature. So, if I can have some underground projects, I'll do underground projects, and I do plan on doing that. I do plan on putting in a root cellar and having something, as a shelter. That way, if we need to have something there too. So I'd love to meet you for coffee anytime, and if you're in Pennsylvania. Thank you, Jen. You know what? I definitely want to, continue to meet people. One of the guys that came to the prepper get together, I met him I met him. He came to the prepper get together, and I met his wife today. They met us at the fair, and it was really nice meeting her for the first time. And so, they're just so many decent people. There's so many decent people, and I think that it's going to be quite the adventure down here. And like I said, I know I have a tremendous amount of work to do, and that's okay. I'm absolutely okay with that. You're old, but not that old, like you said. I'm not. I don't consider myself old. In here, I'm not old at all. So, but you know, like I said, I'm a determined, stubborn SOB, and I'm always going to be that person. So, yes, there you go. Randy Romines, I like that. Thank you very much. She said, Ed is mature, not old. I like that. That's very good. Yes, I am mature. I'm not old. I'm mature. This would indicate that. So when I was with my ex, and this really started to go white, when I was with her, and she says, she goes, I used to say to her, so you see all this white hair? I go, that's all from you. So, but no, like I said, I think a lot of it's your attitude and how you look at life, and if you enjoy life. And I enjoy life. I do. I have a good time, and I'm going to continue to have a good time. I don't plan on slowing down. My mom is 78 years old, guys. Okay. And she's going all the time. I wake up, her car will be gone. I'm like, I'll go to Beck. I'll go, where's mom? Oh, she's off doing this or she's off doing that. That's mom. That's what mom does. So, when you start canning at the new homestead, remember your pressure is going to be 15 and not 10. Yes, because of the higher elevation. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you, Joan, for that. That's actually good information to have. So. But yeah, like I said, we're the same age as you, Ed. Go. There you go. Hey, like I said, it's in a mindset. And if you want to act like you're old, I'll tell you a story. So I've been in nursing school, and I went back to school. I was 29 when I went back to nursing school, and I had a girl in the class that was, I think she was 32 or 33, because we had like 18-year-olds in the class. And we had one lady who was like in her late 50s. And I was like, why are you going to nursing school in your late 50s? It's like, but anyway, the 32-year-old, she had cut her hair super short. And, that's how she wore her hair. And she said, well, she says, when I turned 30, she said, I wasn't young anymore, so I cut my hair. And I looked at her, and I'll never forget it. And I said, you know what? I said, I will never act my age. I'm going to enjoy life. I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm not going to be dictated. I need to act a certain way because I'm a certain age. And that's always the way I've been. I've never been anything different. That's just me. So, guys, we got with 395 in the chat. We got 173 thumbs up. So if you haven't shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to do so to show support for the channel. And I appreciate that ahead of time. Also, if, it really does help with the algorithms. So the more interaction we have, the better as well. And of course, I like to see a good number of thumbs up too as part of the game, of course, right? So thank you for that reason as well. And again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So we are, just so you guys know, we're heading home tomorrow back to New York. Because I want to get home. I want to get things kind of squared away, do some things there that I need to get done there. I got to have another 4 face cord of wood brought in there, and I want to get that stacked up, and do a couple of projects up there. And but I plan on coming back down within inside of a month. I'm not exactly sure what the date is going to be yet. I have no idea, but I want to get started on some stuff down here. And so when I come back down, I will be here for, like I said, a week, at least a week at that point in time. And so it'll be, that's going to be a working time down here. And so I will get a ton of video done, and I will do that, and we'll see how, we'll go from there. But that's how that's going to be. So what I may have to do is, I don't know. Like I said, I got to figure out how I'm going to get everything uploaded and do everything I need to do. But so I may go ghost for a week. I don't know. Probably what I'll probably do is I'll do a bunch of video. I'll maybe get a hotel one night and like go to the hotel room to use the Wi-Fi to upload everything. I don't know. We'll figure it all out. I'm not sure. Ed, any idea of how deep you have to go for a well? I don't know, JJ. Like I said, I'm going to utilize springs. There's 2 springs. I plan on developing both of the springs. So if I'm got enough water with the springs and then enough water with rain catchment, I don't need a well. So, that's kind of where I'm going to go with that. But I'm in my 70s, gray hair and a ponytail, no cutting it short. My rules, my way. Exactly. The Ridge Homestead, exactly. There's no thing written that you have to act a certain way. When you give up and when you stop, that's when you die. And that's my opinion. When you have, if you have an option to enjoy life, I say enjoy it. Have a good time. Do what you enjoy doing. Life is so short. We just don't know what's going to happen. So we just try to do the best we can. You want to be miserable? Knock yourselves out. Go be miserable. But you're not going to invite me to be that way because I'm not going to be. So real quick, I want to talk about my website, preppernurse1.com. We have the Prepper Nurse One community there, which is set up for you guys. So if you are looking to connect with like-minded people, it is a good resource for you to do so. It is free to join. You do have to register, but no credit card information is asked. It is private, so you can't just go in and see what's going on there. If you want to go in and check out the message boards or try to connect with somebody in your state or in your country, that's what it's there for. Also, if you go to my website, preppernurse1.com, you click on store, it drops down, you'll see Legacy Foods. What we have available is there. There is no sale going on right now, but it's still a good time to get the long-term freeze-dried food before we get into any kind of emergency situation. I would highly recommend it because, like I said, there's no waiting right now, so that's a good time to do it. 25-year shelf life, GMO-free, gluten options available for people that need it. It is vegan, again, and largest portion size of any of the freeze-dried food companies. It is also made in the United States. You know, one of those few companies that's actually here in the United States anymore. But and it's really good food. I've had it myself. I recommend that I have it in my preps as well. The last thing I want to talk about is the Forefathers, which is the CBD and hemp store. Definitely check them out as well. They are, if you go to my website, preppernurse1.com, you'll see their logo, Forefathers. If you click on that, it will take you to their website. If you decide to make a CBD or a hemp purchase, make sure when you check out, you use the discount code PrepperNurse1, the number 1, not O-N-E, over there, and it'll save yourself 15% on your purchase. So definitely take care of that, you know, if you were interested in doing that. CBD products are a great thing to have. They really are. So, you know, definitely check those out. All right. So that's that. I wanted to just mention that really quickly. I'm probably going to do like what are we at? Probably do like a full hour. So we're about 8 minutes away from an hour. But I will be live streaming again tomorrow. I will be home. We're going to probably leave here. We're going to probably leave here early in the morning. I got a 7-hour drive to get back to New York. So I should be back home early afternoon. And so I will be doing a live stream tomorrow night. We already got a video, the third video from the new property that will go up at 3 o'clock. And then when I get home, I'll set up for the live stream tomorrow night. And so we will go from there. All right. So just so you know, I will be doing back to the normal live streams with that. And yeah, this has been fun, guys. Been a crazy whirlwind couple of weeks going out to Sturgis and doing that. And that was kind of like one of those things that I wanted to do on my bucket list. I will tell you this right now. I will go back out to Sturgis in a heartbeat anytime. Beautiful country riding out there through Wisconsin, Minnesota. You know, Chicago's a cesspool. Not going to lie. Being honest. Wouldn't want to be there for any reason. Wouldn't want to stay there for any reason. Again, being honest, if it's your cup of tea, you like cities, go for it. But it's not mine. So, you know, more videos from the property. When I go back down in a month, I'll do a lot more videos. You know, obviously as we're working on stuff. And yeah, Sturgis is everything's a super spreader. You know, except like last year, if you remember, Sturgis was supposed to be a super spreader last year, and you never heard nothing. So there you go. You know, I don't know how much is factual information. I don't know how much is not. You know, so I just, you know, I would say, Ed, have you considered combining a root cellar with your spring house? You know, we're gonna touch base on all of that. We'll kind of figure stuff out, but yeah, but not Obama's party. Obama can have a big, huge party, and that's perfectly fine. Again, we are part of the peons. We are not part of the elite. So, you know, we have to do as we are told, not what we want. They can do whatever they want, and that's perfectly fine. So, yeah, it's insane. And nobody was wearing masks there at that one either. You notice that? Nice, right? But that's okay. So, but so yeah, it's been a crazy couple of weeks, and you know, I'm actually looking forward to getting home. And we were going to stay a couple extra days, but then I said, let's just go home, and so that way I can kind of get things kind of squared away and get ready to come back down here, get things lined up of what I want to do and how I want to do it, and that's where we're going to be. I forgot to bring the drone with me. What I may do Once I get down here and I have the four-wheeler, I want to bring the GoPro for that. I may take the GoPro next time down too. I may do that. We'll see. But um, was this your first long distance trip with the truck? With a new truck? Yes. Yep. First long distance trip with a new truck. It's run like a charm. Rides so comfortably. No issues whatsoever. Very, very, and we can get down here on one tank of gas. When the truck is full, I got a 600-mile range with the truck. So it is huge as far as, how much old gas it'll hold. So, no, we don't ship overseas, unfortunately, with the Legacy Freeze Dried Foods. I'm sorry. So that is, yeah. We'll get into more stuff later with what is going on. And, I just think take care of your business, take care of your families, continue to prep, continue to get ready. I think we are in for some very, very. I have a Ford F-150, 2018. It is a Lariat, so it's really nice truck. Really, really handles well, and I needed a truck for the property in West Virginia, and that's why I bought the truck. So it was funny. The gentleman that him and his wife that we bought the property from, he was like, yeah, he goes, my wife was been watching your videos and she said that you got a truck. He goes, you needed a truck. So, yeah, but I love the truck. I will tell you this, it's a cooler that I did the review on. We've brought that down and we've used that cooler on this trip. Unbelievably awesome, keeping the the pop and food and stuff like that cold in the cooler. I unplug it at night in the truck and we come out in the morning and the pop and everything is still nice and cold. So it's insulated really, really well. It's going great. When we're driving, we plug it in and it works fantastic. So cell signal is good on the new property, even when we went down to the creek down there. Now, people were getting mad at me because I said creek. They're like, it's not crick, it's creek. Who cares? You know what I'm talking about. Crick, creek, semantics, guys. Okay? You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, going all the way down to the creek. All right, there you go. We had cell service down there. So no issues with cell service. So I'm really happy about that. I've had some people talk about Starlink as far as internet access. So we're going to check into that. I call it creek. That's what I call it, or crick. Who cares? Crick, creek. I don't see why people give a crap. So I spell it crick. Yeah. So, it's like, to me, this is a can of pop, but in the South, it's a can of soda. Who cares? Okay.
Because you always tell me to call it pop when I
Well, Heather calls it soda, and I'm like, no, it's called pop. Well, she's a Yankee. She's from the North. You should be calling it pop.
Soda sounds better.
It's one of those things that we have. So, anyway, guys, I am going to jump off of here. We're such a huge network and a huge family. There's people all over. We all need to really be supporting each other, and I think that is no green tea on this trip. Nope, we're drinking pop. So, Ed, you are the pop. Yeah, I'm pop. All right. So, but anyway, continue to prep, folks. Continue to get ready. Again, we just don't know what's going to happen, and to be as ready as we possibly can be. It's spelled creek, C-R-E-E-K. Who cares? Is the world going to end if somebody calls it a crick as opposed to a creek? Is that really?
Tomato, right?
Huh? Tomato, exactly. Pop, soda. What's the difference? So anyway, I'm just giving you guys a hard time. I'm going to jump off here, guys. I will see you all tomorrow. We'll get back into normal stuff tomorrow. So we'll be back in New York and having my little baby puppy dog in my lap, as you will see, and I'm sure she will be. So anyway, guys, remember, we're all in this together. We are one race called the human race, And as soon as we can really figure that out, we're going to be in a lot better shape. Stop letting them divide us over race, religion, political affiliation, vaxxed or unvaxxed. That's what they're doing. They're doing it constantly. Don't let them do it. Don't let them do it. Okay? Stay positive. Stay away from the negativity. You're going to be better off. You really will be. Again, when the time comes and you need help, you're not going to care what color somebody is. You're not going to care what religion they are. You're not going to care what their is, and you're not going to care if they've been vaccinated or unvaccinated. If somebody's offering you help, you need help, you're going to take that help. So remember that. Okay? Let's try to focus on stuff like that. It's going to make our world a whole lot better. Remember also to hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life, so it's really important we tell the people that we care about every day how we feel. And last but not least, STD. Step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you were trying to do, whatever you were trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you, yep, Chris Vincent says down south a poke bag, which is a paper bag. Right, exactly. So who cares? The only one that can stop you from reaching your goals is you. That's it. Nobody else can stop you. Stay positive, stay away from the negativity, and you're going to be just fine. We're a big family. We really need to remember that, especially here in the United States. I mean, my goodness, they want us to be divided. But you know what I find? I find so often that we're not. We really aren't. Once you get sitting down and talking to anybody, everybody has the same issues. Everybody has the same dreams. We all want the same thing. And we should support each other for that. We really should. All right. Well, anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope you enjoy the next video. That will go up at 3 o'clock tomorrow. And I will see you all later. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.